Secret to growing strawberries without tilling, can you believe it? Using just some old water bottles, you can create the cuttest strawberry garden right at home. Let's get this fun no-till gardening journey started. Step 1. Upcycle your water bottles. Simple transformations. Cut the bottle in half. Top and bottom sections. Keep the cap on the top, and drill holes in the cap and bottom. The hole in the cap is to thread a piece of cloth. The cloth acts as a wick, keeping the soil moist. The bottom hole in the cap is for ventilation and drainage. The lower half of the bottle will mainly serve to store moisture and allow you to water. So, make a small hole here for easy watering. Finally, tie the cloth to the cap and set aside. Next up, step 2. Build a support frame. This frame will help support the strawberries. You'll hang the planters on this frame. Saving space, so smart. Making the most of limited space. Fix the bottom of the water bottle to the frame using your tools. Make sure the watering hole faces out. Then, place the top part with the cloth wick upside down into the bottle, turning these used water bottles into the perfect no-till planters. Strawberries love soil that's fertile, soft and airy. I recommend adding some coconut coir, rice husk ash mixed with some composted organic fertilizer. Mix well and then add it to the container. Step 3. Planting your strawberries. Place the strawberry seedlings with some soil. Plant just one seedling per container, making sure the roots are intact before covering with soil. Never bury the leaves in the soil to avoid hindering growth. After planting, water gently so your seedlings can get growing quickly. Pour some clean water through the watering hole in the bottle. At this point, the cloth wick comes into play. It will absorb the water up to the soil, keeping it moist for a long time. The time for planting strawberries doesn't have a clear relationship with flowering times. It's usually based on seedling conditions. If you provide adequate fertilizer and water, flower buds should appear about a month after planting. At this time, you can add a little more soil. If you can, add a bit of phosphorus and potassium fertilizer. Introduce it through the watering hole so it can absorb it to improve the quality of the blooms and fruit. By day 60, your strawberry seedlings will be flowering and fruiting. At this stage, pay attention to their growth. I recommend you trim some old and yellow leaves as needed. If you see any suckers, remove them promptly to reduce nutrient consumption. All these factors will affect the output of your strawberries. By day 80, strawberries will be turning color and ripening. At this point, you have to harvest them in a timely manner, because if you have sufficient fertilizer and water, one strawberry seedling can bear fruit 2 to 3 times in half a year. Strawberries can be grown in all 4 seasons in the South. For example, if planted at the end of September, the maturity time is about 60 to 80 days. Starting from this time, strawberries can be harvested continuously until March of the following year. During this period, you can harvest from 2 to 3 crops. If planted in March, then the same applies to September. It mainly depends on the seedling conditions. Usually, one seedling is only good for half a year, a maximum of 8 months. Because a strawberry seedling has already fruited, the fruit it will produce later, the quality and output are not ideal, especially for commercial growers and pickers. They basically dig them up and throw them away, and then plant new seedlings. Of course, if you are growing them for fun, you don't need to worry about this. So, that's all for today's video. Give this mini no-till strawberry garden a try. Don't forget to like the video if you found it helpful, and be sure to share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel for more cool tips.